In came Bob Cratchit with his threadbare clothes darned up and brushed to look seasonable. Then Bob, turning up his cuffs as if, poor fellow, they were capable of being made more shabby, compounded some hot mixture in a jug with gin and lemons, and stirred it round and put it on the hob to simmer. Then he served it out with beaming looks while the chestnuts on the fire sputtered and cracked noisily. Then Bob proposed.
Mr. Scrooge, I'll give you Mr. Scrooge, the founder of the feast.
The founder of the feast, indeed. I wish I had him here to give him a piece of my mind to feast upon, and I hope he'd have a good appetite for it.
My dear, the children, Christmas Day.
It should be Christmas Day, I am sure, when one drinks the health of such an odious, stingy, hard, unfeeling man. You know he is, Robert. No one knows it better than you do, poor fellow.
My dear, Christmas Day.
Where did you learn to make this?
Welcome back to the Victorian Bar Room for our 2025 Christmas episode. Today we are making our best guess at Bob Cratchit's Gin Punch at one of our favorite places, Musee de Venoge. Thank you very much to Venoge for allowing us to come in here and film today in their space. And also, before we go any further, I know we haven't been around much lately. We're planning to be more so in the near future. If you like this video, subscribe to the channel and click that bell icon so that you know when we have new things coming out. That really helps us out a lot. That lets other people know that they should check us out as well. So, in A Christmas Carol, Dickens said that Bob Cratchit made a concoction of gin and lemons. It surely wasn't just gin and lemons that wouldn't be any good. What he's probably referring to is a gin punch, all right? Now, gin was not anybody's ideal option. This is a literary device that Dickens used to tell you that Bob Cratchit is not very well off. And this is not the only time that he did that. The other one that comes most immediately to mind is my second favorite Dickens novel, next to A Christmas Carol, The Old Curiosity Shop, where Dick Swiveller kept a decanter in his room of what he called the Rosie, which he served to himself and his guest, which Dickens clarified was just gin and water. Dick Swiveller not being any better off than Bob Cratchit was, except for he didn't have a gaggle of children. It's not very often on this channel that I rely on secondary sources. We generally go straight from the primary source to the recipe, but David Wondrich wrote the best book to date on the subject of punch. And if you're trying to understand punch and you don't read this book, you're literally just leaving information on the table. And so I give Mr. Wondrich a lot of credit. And in this book, he gives a basic recipe for a hot punch. And we're assuming this is a hot punch because it's cold in London at Christmas. And also, the book talks about Bob Cratchit leaving it by the fire to keep warm. So we're working off that recipe. We're not doing it exactly. As usual, I've moved a few things around to work for the way I like to do it, which is perfectly appropriate for the time. Everybody who made punch was going to do it a little bit differently. So giving Mr. Wondrich credit for the base recipe, we did a couple of minor tweaks. Now, at least 30 minutes before you want to actually mix the punch, we have to make our oleo saccharum, which you've seen before in these videos. It's going to be lemon peel and sugar. For this one, we're going to do 4 lemons, and you just peel it so that you get as much yellow and as little white as possible, but don't stress about it too much. It's also important that you keep it in as much of a ribbon as possible, like this, because if you leave it overnight, you're going to want to fish those out. Otherwise, the lemon peel will give it an off flavor. Success. So there's the peel of our 4 lemons, and we need a cup of sugar. We made the choice this time to use a less refined, kind of a brown turbinado sugar. That's not like brown sugar that you get to cook with. This is just kind of a coarser brown sugar. We're assuming that Bob Cratchit sprung for the ingredients to make the punch with properly, but maybe not, you know, the industrial purified stuff that we're used to today. So we're gonna put that cup of turbinado sugar on top of the lemon peel, muddle it a little bit, you can mix it up some. Kind of want to get it incorporated as much as possible And we're just gonna set that aside for at least 30 minutes. If you wanna do it for an hour, that's fine too, a little bit longer. Just as long as it's at least 30 minutes, you wanna give that sugar time to extract the lemon oils from the lemon peel, and you will see what I'm talking about at the end of this process. And while we're at it, we're gonna go ahead and juice those 4 lemons. That's gonna go into the punch later. So it's been a good 30 minutes, and you can see that our lemon peel and sugar did exactly what it's supposed to do. And so we're gonna take 2 cups of boiling water now and dissolve that sugar. We're gonna add our lemon juice that we prepared earlier. Mix that up. And just 1 750 milliliter, your standard 1 bottle of Old Tom gin. Okay, now if all you've got, if all you can get is London Dry gin, don't let it stop you from making this, but Old Tom is the accurate choice for the middle of the 19th century. Basically, it is distilled at a lower proof than London Dry is, so it doesn't quite have that crisp taste. There's a little bit more body, there's a little bit more roundness to it. London Dry really came in more when the technology changed to column stills, when that became the kind of the technology that was favored for this kind of alcohol production. The only one that we really have available in this region right now is Hayman's Old Tom Gin, and that's lucky because it's a pretty good one. It is actually made in England. It is very delicious. I do wish we had more of a variety. We used to have Ransom around here that David Wondrich helped formulate himself to be an accurate mid-19th century Old Tom Gin. They tell me they're coming back to this area, but I haven't seen him yet. So if you're watching, we're ready to buy you. So we're going to take our bottle of Old Tom Gin, pour the whole thing in. Mix that up. And we're going to go back to the hearth for another 2.5 cups of boiling water. Add that to the punch. Mix that up. And now, did he have it? We can't say for sure, but there's nothing over a bowl of punch like this than some nutmeg. And we do know that Dickens carried a nutmeg grater in his pocket for just this sort of occasion. So if Cratchit didn't happen to have it, we're just going to say that this is Dickens' gift to him. And so now the best part, let's see how it turned out. In Dickens' description of the Cratchit's place, 2 of their only pieces of glassware were 2 tumblers, so that's what we're using today. Here's to you, my dear.
And you, my darling. Smells so good. That is really good.
And is better than I thought. The first attempt I did a few years ago at gin punch was not good.
Well, were you using the Old Tom for that, though?
I was, yeah.
Well, this is very good in there, though.
Yeah. And again, gotta give credit to David Wondrich for the basic formula.
Yeah.
I added the lemon juice back, which he did not have in his recipe. I kind of moved back and forth the way the portions he added the water in, just because I felt like a little bit more helped to dissolve the sugar. But
Well, this is one of those things, it's almost like barbecue today. Back then, I think, where every guy had his version, his
Right.
punch he liked to make. And
Yeah.
you see that with Dickens himself, you see it in his writing.
Absolutely.
Another example I can think of, Mr. Micawber and David Copperfield. You see it through Dickens that everybody has their punch. So I feel like that's what you did here, was make your punch.
Right. Well, and the other interesting thing about it too is in A Christmas Carol, Bob Cratchit makes it up and he puts it on by the fire to stay warm. And we know that Dickens actually recommended doing that in his own personal life. This was something that he did.
Yeah, and some of these we have found do get better the longer they sit, actually.
do,
So
yeah.
you'd say put it in a jug, put it by the fire.
Absolutely. And it occurs to me, my two favorite Dickens novels, Christmas Carol first, The Old Curiosity Shop second, both features broke people drinking gin, which shows that they're broke. It kind of reminds me of when we first got together.
I think back then, if we could afford nothing else, though, we made sure it was some decent gin.
Yeah, I used to, we both knew how to make martinis. We were living on opposite sides of the country, and so we would do martinis over Skype. I had been using Gordon's gin up to the time I met Amy, and she told me that it really needed to change to Bombay, and so that upped the quality of my life.
When there was nothing else in our cupboard, it was at least some Bombay.
Up the quality
and
of
some
my mornings,
Evan.
too. So we're going to pack the rest of this actually up. We're going to put it over in the visitor center in the fridge here at Musee de Venoge, because we will be here on December the 13th from 11 to 4.
I believe so.
Talking about Victorian punches and everything. It's called A Country Christmas. You get to see Venoge and also the sister site, Thibault Farmstead, which you've also seen on the Victorian Barroom, which we're hoping to get back to hopefully next year, maybe for the Christmas episode. And it's all free. And you get wonderful refreshments, and it's just a great time. So come on out to Switzerland County, Indiana, and celebrate with us.
Yeah, we'll be seeing you.
We'll see you then. And I think the end of this should be, God bless us, everyone.
God bless us, everyone. Where did you learn to make this?
Well, on top of the coal I pilfer every December, I stole Mr. Scrooge's Wi-Fi and watched this year's Christmas episode of the Victorian Barroom, which I was careful to like and subscribe to.